What's going on, y'all? My name is Spanky, and today I'm going to be talking about my Pxn V99. Um, yeah. So my PXN V99, I've had it for almost 2 years now. I got it for Christmas of 2024. Um, it was my first sim rig, um, well, sim wheel, and yeah. Uh, Today I'm going to talk about the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly, and just my overall experience with the product itself. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be using the product and just discussing it. So here we go. Um, so overall, I would say I would give this product a, I'd say a 6 out of 10. Especially for someone with no experience with the with like a sim wheel or anything like that. Um, I myself, like I said, this is my very first one. Um, and I came into it not knowing what to expect. The only thing I've ever played with a wheel was like arcade games, like Initial D or like Wayne Gang Midnight. What's it called? Maximum Tune. And yeah, that was like the most of my experience, other than like actual driving, right? So overall, it's cool. The wheelbase, it works really well. Um, the shifter that came with it originally, it was very, um, it had a cool design. It came with a clamp itself, so it was ready for you to mount it. Um, the wheel is very, it's got like a kind of like a rubber grip to it. Um, Now it's gear driven, and Pxn has a app, like a software app for you to use, and that has been helpful with like some settings and such. Um, I don't know how long PXN has been around, but when I was first setting it up and all that stuff, and even now when I try to look things up, I have a hard time finding um, like information. I don't know if that's like just the lack of people using it or what, but um, that's just from my experience. It's hard to find some information because, I mean, obviously, if you're looking into this, you see it is really a world of Sim Magic, Fanatec, Moza, uh, Camus, SimCube. You know, you don't really hear, especially like gear driven, you don't really hear anything about PXN. Gear driven, everybody's like, oh, Logitech, Thrustmaster. So, um, I kind of went into it not thinking too much of it just because it was a cheaper bundle. I wasn't expecting it to be the end all be all. Um, but I had fun with it. I still do have fun with it. I've had so much fun with it. I have about 450 plus hours on the wheel itself, just mainly playing like just on the Settle Corsa. And oh, now the positives of it, it does have good force feedback. Um, the bundle, it like I said, the main positive for me about getting this setup was that the bundle came with everything I needed: the wheelbase, the steering wheel, the shifter, and the pedal set. And the biggest selling point was that the pedal set had 3 pedals already. As you know, a lot of times you get like a wheel bundle, and then you end up having to buy the clutch separately. These pedals are Hall effect sensors. The wheel, like I said, it has like a rubber grip on it. The shifter, I don't remember too much of it because it did break last year. And the wheelbase, you know, it's a regular gear-driven wheelbase, you know. The wheelbase it's gonna make some noise. It's a gear-driven wheelbase. I'm sure you hear the noise right now. It is not a quick release setup. It's like one of those screw ones, like you tighten it and all that stuff for the wheel, the steering wheel to the wheelbase. A plus is they give you a lot of different cords you need for your connection to set it up and all that stuff. Yeah, in my opinion, that's, you know, some of the positives. It's definitely great entry for somebody that's, you know, just beginning. Yeah. So that's enough about my positives. Like I said, I've had a good time with it. You know, I've done races. I did a lot of drifting. I've done toge. I've done SRP. Like it gets the job done. You know. Now, for me, moving on to the cons, the negatives, the bad, the ugly, whatever you want to call it. This is my experience. I'm not saying all V99s are like this, but mine personally was like this. I have power connectivity issues. Like sometimes the wheel will shut off while I'm driving. I'll post a video of it right there. And then sometimes my pedals will stop working. I'll also, you should see that in the same video. And then a lot of times, so I have buttons on the wheel, but I can't really use them. There's only one button I can really use, and that is the center horn button. Because a lot of times when I turn the wheel, like more than a certain degree, it sometimes activates like the shifters on the wheel. It'll activate essentially all the buttons except for the one button that's actually I can actually use. And you know, it can be inconvenient. I have done some iRacing with it, and iRacing, you know, I have to set up a lot of the buttons, and I cannot do just one button do everything. Excuse me. And you know, sometimes I'll be mid-turn, and then it'll activate. Excuse me. It'll activate the button, and I'm looking one way, trying to turn another way. And, like, it'll change my view. That was like a big thing. And the main thing really is just, you know, not being able to use certain buttons. Power connectivity issues where it just randomly resets. And, you know, it's not like a huge deal. It's whatever, you know. I could just get out the I'll get out of Assetto Corsa or Forza, and it'll reset, recalibrate, then I can go right back in. But in the middle of a session, it it is kind of like not the greatest. Like I do race in World Sim Series sometimes, and all my DNFs, like I've only had 3 NFs, right? 3 of them, and all 3 of those are because my wheel reset in the middle of me racing, and when it resets, it I can't continue. Like I could turn the wheel and all, but then my pedals for some reason mess up, and I can't use anything, so I have to exit the race, which gives me the DNF. You know, and it's it's kind of like frustrating. Now, um, that's mainly like the wheelbase. The pedals, I feel like, I mean, they don't have like any type of tension or anything like that. It's kind of like those pedals you feel at like an arcade machine, you know. But oh, speak of the devil, look, the wheel just reset itself. You see this? You see this? Hold on. So now that it's reset, now see the force feedback is, it's like I'm not even playing anything right now, right? And you see I'm turning the wheel in my video, but in Assetto, the wheel is not turning. Um, you see I'm pushing the gas, clutch, brake, but it's stuck at a certain thing. It's activating all of them at the same time. Now it's stuck at third gear, but watch when I put it in neutral, right? And I'll shift it back into gear nothing. So essentially, that is the issue that I'm having. Like I said, I don't know if that's with um, every Pxn V99, but that is the issue with mine. I'm gonna go ahead and meet the game real quick. Um, but that's essentially what my problems are. Um, so the good, it's cheap. I got mine for I think 170 for around Christmas time 2 years ago. I don't know what it is now, just because I already have one. Um, you know, the positives, it comes with everything. You get the wheelbase, you get the steering wheel, you get the shifter, you get the 3 pedals. It's cost efficient. It gets you in the door, you know. The negatives, I can only speak on my personal experience with it. Um, like you just saw the wheel reset by itself. You saw that in the game and in this video right here where you saw it was doing it itself. Um, I have that issue. I have reached out to them prior, and I was not able to record a video. And I just spoke to them again recently about it. Sent them a video, sent them my order and all that stuff. Sent them the um, serial number for the wheelbase and the steering wheel just in case they needed it. And uh, I told them, you know, I was not trying to get a replacement. I just wanted to let them know that I believe they might have a quality control issue if they're sending out a product that may have issues, right? A faulty product. Now, in my emails with them, I had about 4 emails with them. 3 of those 4 were AI generated, telling me to do things that I have already done, you know, and hoping that that would possibly fix the problem. And in a sense, I was trying to let them know, like, hey, there is a faulty product that I got. I'm not looking for a replacement. I clearly stated I'm not looking for a replacement, but I also wanted to see if they could help me find a resolution to fix my wheel because I do like it. And I do have like kind of like an attachment. I've grown fond of it because this is my introduction to sim racing, sim drifting, right? And I wanted to be able to fix the issue so I can continue to play with it until I do upgrade. Now, they plain out blankly said, "Thank you for letting us know. Um, we're not going to replace the unit. Please buy another unit." And that was like the only human response that I got. Now, I'm not saying it's bad on them as a company because obviously, yes, I'm way out of warranty. This is like 2 years after I got it, right? 450 plus hours on it. But I wasn't looking for a replacement or anything like that. I was just letting them know because I knew I was out of warranty. So that is my experience with their customer service. Um, Now, for the negatives that I can think of, in general, like I said, there's no tension in the pedals. They could have more feel. Um, the original shifter, I don't know if it's because of how I was playing or what, but the sensors stopped working. I tried to reset many times. Um, they just stopped working. I ended up buying another $50 shifter from Amazon. The the generic box looking USB shifter, and that has been amazing. It feels a lot better in my opinion. No offense towards PXN and their shifter. It's just this one I feel I like it a lot better. It gives me a more, how should I say, a more robust feel compared to what it was before. Um, the wheel is kind of small. I want to say this is probably like a 300 millimeter, maybe less than that. It does have a weird design to where it has the standard T, but then towards the outside of the T, it splits into two like this. Um, yeah, I mean, I recommend it for beginners if you never had any experience with it before. I'm not gonna say you will have the experience that I had with the negatives, but I'm not saying you're not. Uh, like I said, this is just my experience based on my personal unit. This is an honest review. I'm gonna continue to use it until I upgrade, whenever that may be. But I don't see myself sticking with this too much longer. Yeah. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I just wanted to spread information because, like I said, there isn't that much information on this specific wheel. Um, but like I said, if you're brand new, this is a good way to get into it. You might have some issues, you might not. If you're already in it, I don't see why you would go from like an entry level wheel to another entry level wheel. I would say you'd probably end up going to a direct drive wheel, right? That is my plan. I do plan on going to a direct drive wheel. I don't know which one yet. I'm still in the market, and maybe you guys can give me some suggestions. And hopefully, this was helpful to everybody. Peace.